Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Tuesday, February 28th, last day of the month. Tomorrow is March 10:29 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. Let's look at the crypto market and the big market and see what's going on. It's kind of a sideways day with a little bit of up in the major indexes. Bitcoin indecisive, some alts making a run. We're going to look at, sorry about that, a few alts that I noticed even when the market in general is kind of in the red, seem to make some gains and actually just have consistently, even though they have a good deal of volatility, just continued making gains over the last week or so. So anyway, these are kind of like this is kind of my list that I'm watching that starts to make gains when the market turns red. So just something to take a look at. With that said, real quick, going to look at well, of course, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. You can buy me a coffee. You can check out blockchain education. They're really cool. You can do cool stuff like that, things I use and endorse, and also, of course, indicators that I use here in the video, pages that I use, and, of course, indicators in the charts at the very, very bottom. So got more for you there. Check it out. Looking at FinViz in general, a bit of an indecisive day, but indecisive on the positive side. So Dow, it's down 0.35% this moment. NASDAQ up 0.35%. S&P 500 after a lot of struggle today, up 0.17%. All right, looking at the S&P 500 in squares here, as you can see, Meta is definitely winning today. In general, this is a tough one. A lot of green, a lot of red. Nothing all that strong today except for, well, healthcare sector taking a bit of a dump, healthcare plans taking a bit of a dump, and the communication services, especially Meta, definitely not doing too bad today. Looking at the big stuff here to get a feel for the day. Looking at the top middle here, that's DXY, got rejected off previous resistance yesterday, kind of making a comeback today, trying to keep in that channel. We'll see how it goes. At least it isn't pumping. It is giving the market time to breathe a little bit. Okay, now looking at the oil spot, as you can see upwards, we have higher lows cruising along. Nice little channel there. If you're trading U.S. oil spot, well, there you go. Nice to see it in the green today. It makes more sense than when it's in the red, to me at least. S&P 500 barely pulling a green candle today, but it is making a bounce off that daily 200, which is rather important here. Looking at Bitcoin, indecisive day, but above all important, moving averages kind of finding a little bit of a struggle here at a previous resistance. So we'll see how it does. Gold, green day finally making a 314 moving average bounce. So that's nice to see. Silver was below all important moving averages, but today it's definitely making a nice green Lambo candle, trying to challenge that 200 daily moving average. So we can get above that. That's wonderful. If anybody knows of a silver backed stable coin, let me know, because maybe I'd get in on that. I wouldn't mind having some crypto silver. All right, looking at this today, not telling me a whole lot. Let's just ditch this one. I want to move through quickly. Looking at spot trading pairs, the volume on the big exchanges like the top 20 here. Most are in the red today. So basically, we're not seeing a lot of volume today. Last 24 hours has been kind of low volume. So, well, there you go. Low volume, not a lot of spot trading. So people are just kind of holding their coins close to their chest. Looking at derivatives on Binance, where the big volume is. 35 billion, down 15% last 24 hours. Very little activity there. So basically, you got crypto market volume kind of weak right now. The thing I forgot to fire up was this. I want to check this out today. Let's look at Coin360 real quick, and then, of course, Crypto Meter. So pretty much BitcoinDailyView.com, everything I pretty much do, it's there. So I try to make it better, a little bit more. I want to do more with it, but right now it's just a basic page with some stuff, Anyway, market, this is nice to see. XRP is in the green. Doge is in the green. LTC is in the green. So let's look at Doge. Before we get out of here, let's look at LTC. I still think institutional money is coming into that. BNB having a green day. I like that. XRP, a green day. Okay, that's pretty cool. Like what I'm seeing. What else? Anything else? Well, some other stuff's doing good. ApeCoin's doing good. Link, Crow, GRT, Mana is doing good. Anyway, we'll look at these guys here, Doge, LTC, and XRP. That's kind of exciting. We'll check those out. AGIX is one of the ones that seems to always be green, even on a red day. I had that noted. So anyway, let's keep rocking. Crypto Square Universe, as we can see here, mix of green and red, indecisive. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly last 24 hours, 7.2 billion. That's definitely pretty darn low. Okay, once again, we've already seen the big indexes and stuff. We know what's going on there. Looking at Bitcoin in the top 100, Bitcoin is 23,501 right now. I'll take it. And as always, Immutable X, Singularity.net, and Synthetic Network are all doing pretty darn good. And so is EOS is doing good this morning. That's kind of cool to see. EOS, I'm glad you showed up glad you've been out of the picture for a while. Anyway, the ones that I noticed that are always kind of doing good are Clay, SNX, IMX, Immutable X, and AGIX. They all seem to be kind of green even on red days recently. So we'll take a look at those as we rock through, because, if you can see the day is looking red, maybe those are good ones to hop in on, because I think they probably start turning up around like 3 a.m. my time or something like that. So you kind of got to kind of get up for them. But it's something I might start doing, is catching these guys in the morning early when the day looks red. Just a wild theory, that's what life is. A lot of wild theories. Anyway, looking at longs versus shorts on Binance, 61% long, 38% short, definitely a long bias for Bitcoin on Binance, and of course for Ethereum, 56% long, 43% short. Not quite a powerful long bias for Ethereum. All right, looking at Bitcoin, here's the big news. Pretty much, we've been pumping recently, kind of pushing hard to 45-minute chart. I find it to be very important for immediate price action. You can see some beautiful candles by Sam here firing off. That's very bullish. It's definitely pushing hard, getting resistance here on the 200 moving average. On the 45-minute chart, it's kind of finding it hard to get above that thing. Understandable, but it's definitely trying. If we do note here, if we are very, 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 very optimistic, you're kind of seeing lower highs here. There's a lower high. There's kind of, you could call it a lower high. This one blew it, but now we have another lower high after that. So not too perfect, but it is a bit of a low, kind of lower highs, moving up, challenging the 200 moving average. Is having a hard time doing it. Definitely, you can kind of see an upwards channel forming here. I'll take it. Why not? Seems plausible. The squeeze indicator is beginning to turn towards the positive. I like that. Directional index is in the green. ADX is trending up. And look at that. We do definitely have a little bit of volume pushing hard, getting this thing back up. So anyway, it's very interesting how you get this moment where it's kind of pushing, starts to break above that 200 moving average. Then your volume just goes right to potty. It's almost like that's some kind of manipulation by big money that's doing that, Anyway, let's look at the hourly chart. Hourly looks very similar, but the 200 moving average is definitely further away. Indicators all look about the same, so it's definitely giving it a shot. The 4-hour chart here for Bitcoin, what I like that I'm seeing here on the 4-hour chart that I think is a pretty darn powerful thing is that it does appear that it is making probably a legit bounce off that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and that's pretty powerful. You can see some volume came in to push that. Here, a little bit of volume, bonk right there at least. ADX is kind of failing us. Directional index is looking all right, and of course the squeeze indicator on the 4-hour chart is looking good. It's kind of pushing. That's pretty good. So let's just see what we can do here. I mean, the 4-hour chart's looking strong. I like that. Looking at the 45-minute chart for very immediate price action. Really, I'm kind of watching for a break above the 200 moving average, and especially the 314. That will lead the way to probably an hourly happening soon after that. But right now, the 200 moving average is right around like 23,520, so we need a little bit of a push here, but if we can get above that, that's going to make for a good day. And I think this actually Bitcoin kind of challenging the 200 moving average, not being able to get above it. Also, it's a downtrending 200 moving average, definitely I think is giving the market a little bit of an indecisive nature, and that kind of makes sense, I think. Daily chart for Bitcoin, one of the really nice things to see is it's above the 200 moving average. It's above the 314 moving average. That's pretty darn powerful. I like what I'm seeing there. And well, there you go. So we'll just leave it at that. Bitcoin looking like it just needs to get some energons going, and I think we'll have a pretty positive day. What else here? Okay, now let's look at alts that seem to always do well. Let's go to Wall. Actually, this is not one of them. This is kind of somebody was looking at this, actually asked me about this one. So I'm just going to go over this real quick. Wall versus USDT. It's a 15-minute chart on KuCoin. It's had a beautiful upwards channel. It certainly gets these beautiful bursty moves. I like that. You can even see here, this is kind of a blockchain education pattern. See that W's tend to equal win. And as you can see, definitely winning. So let's look at a 45-minute chart for a little bit more clarity here. Let's ditch the ATR. Sorry about that. Zone to make it easier to see. And so, yeah, a 45-minute chart, you can see it took a nice, beautiful crossover of that 200 moving average way back on 23rd of February. It's been moving up. Beautiful, beautiful wave pattern. Nice sawtooth pattern. I like it. It looks pretty darn good. But right now, it does appear that we are trending down. But it's really about watching the directional index is kind of potty. ADX is trending up, but that's not necessarily good when the price action is trending down. You don't want down price action and then up ADX to point at each other. That's not very positive. Looking at the squeeze indicator, was still going negative on the squeeze indicator. But the thing is, let's look at like a 15-minute chart. Let's get really tight here. 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart. One thing about the 15-minute chart is it did actually break below the 200 and the 314 moving average, but now we are starting to see some green candles here in the 15-minute chart. The directional index is beginning to give us a break, and we're seeing we just saw some volume come in to dump it. Hadn't really seen it come in to pump it yet. The squeeze indicator is trending down, but these candles don't look too bad. Let's look at a 5-minute chart. I really think we're probably, 5-minute chart. You can see the strong dump by the yellow candles by Sam there. And now some sideways action with a slight uptick. You can see, some volume came in to push it. I think, okay, also you can see directional index is looking good. Squeeze indicator hasn't rolled over yet, but it looks like it's probably getting ready to. What I wonder is, what is this thing actually hitting here? I have a sneaking suspicion that it's a 4-hour chart here. That's probably, look at that right there. To me, it's probably getting ready to do a bit of a bounce here. You see a weakening squeeze indicator on the 4-hour chart. Directional index is trending down the 4-hour chart. We haven't had volume for a while on the 4-hour chart. But anyway, you can see this nice upwards channel. I mean, most likely we're going to see a bounce at the bottom of this channel. It would make sense. I mean, you're kind of seeing it begin to turn around on the 15-minute and the 5-minute chart. So, I wouldn't say all hope is lost yet. I just watch this thing carefully. How's the hourly look? Yeah, I mean, the hourly is pretty clear. I would say that, if anybody's in it, the bottom of this channel is probably going to work. I think it's about ready to turn around, if you ask me. I mean, looking at like a 5-minute chart, I think you can definitely see where, we definitely had a dump, but that was it, and now it's going sideways. Directional index is looking good. Let's look at the, 15-minute chart like this. 15-minute chart's trending up. I think it needs to get above the 314 on the 15-minute chart. So definitely on the 15-minute chart, if a person put an alert in for crossing that 314 moving average, that's probably a spot where we're definitely at that point going to see a turnaround. So that's to get over the 200, but I think we're kind of safe. I think we're probably turning up at that point. So I'm going to keep my eye on the 45-minute chart. And if you look here on the 45-minute chart, we're just flipping a green candle here. It would not surprise me if we see the squeeze indicator start to relent here on the 45-minute chart pretty soon, and the directional index move towards the positive. So anyway, and if you look really close, you can even see on the directional index, it is actually just barely here trending positive. So let's see what happens. If anybody's in this and they're kind of freaked, I don't think we're going to see the 200 moving average. I think this channel will probably hold, at least for now. Like, we're already pulling a green candle here on the 45-minute chart. So let's see what happens. I wouldn't worry too much. I think we're kind of at a bounce spot. That at least looks logical to me. So with that said, now let's look at, we'll look at the ones that always seem to turn green on red days. But this is one that I noticed this morning, XTAG. This is over on KuCoin, XTAG versus USDT. This thing exploded, moved like crazy. Now it's just dumping hard. But it's a beautiful, nice pattern. Big volume came in. This is one that I really think is worth let me get rid of some of these extraneous indicators here, just so I can kind of see what, get a good clear view here. If I did a fib retracement, let's just say right about, here, right? Bonk, bonk. It really would not surprise me. If you look at that, that kind of makes sense if we add this thing up here. There we are at the 786 fib level. That's a lot of push. That's a lot of movement. This fib sequence kind of sticks here, kind of works. Is there a different, I could go down to here, I guess, but I think that I could. How does that look? That sticks pretty well too, almost. Well, with that said, if you look at this guy, um, arguably it's a 786 bounce. It wicked below, you know. If you go down here, the fib seems to fit pretty well. We're not quite at the 786, but with that said, I'm going to go right about here. And I think we're kind of at a 7886 fib bounce. It's a 45-minute chart. I'm going to watch this one kind of close, like go down to like 15 minutes here. It ain't quite turned around yet, but I'm going to watch this one. That's a lot of energons that came in and a lot of volume that came in. I'm going to watch this one for a possible 786 bounce because that would be a nice ride back up if it did so. If it did go back up, if it did ride back up, that would be even back to like the 236 fib level. That'd be like 37%. I mean, even to get back to its previous .5 level would be like 18%, so this is just one that I'm watching. I think hashtag versus tether might be a worthwhile one to watch. Like I say, some crazy energons came in this morning. Let's see if this dump is done. I have to look on the daily, but the 4-hour chart. Let's go back to this. Let's go to 4 hours. Yeah, 45-minute chart is above the 200 moving average. 4 hours above the 200 moving average. How about daily? Daily, there you go. This might be what's going on here. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Look how things work. I love it. Let's nix this. Bunk. Check that out. So this thing's been giving it back for a while, hasn't it? Yeah, okay. So this is a coin that was back December of 2021 was put on there. So pretty much it was put on the exchange and it began to dump. And it's been dumping for a while, but it's kind of been at a bottom for quite a while. And now look at that. It's beginning to get some fight in it. We saw some movement up. The squeeze indicator right now is squeezing. Directional index is pushing up. Big volumes coming in. Hashtag. What made one of my little alerts go off this morning was this daily 200 moving average bounce. Break above. Then it came back, tested, wicked above the 314. This is definitely one to watch. This guy here definitely might have a lot of energy. So let's watch this guy for a bounce. XTAG versus USDT on KuCoin might be something you don't want to miss, possibly. All right, now let's go to trading view here and let's look at these alts that I have noticed that tend to move up when everything else moves down. Oh, real quick before we do that, Doge versus USDT. We saw that one moving. How's that look? Nah, not very exciting. Doge has just moved up a little bit, but not much is happening there. LTC versus USDT. Watch it on Binance here. How's that one doing? Oh, I love it. Strong bounce to the 200 moving average. Went to the 314, coming down, found support, moving up. The directional index is looking good. ADX is looking good. Squeezing the indicators looking good. This guy here, trade it the way you want to trade. It's kind of retracing right now, but how's the 4-hour look? Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on this one, but I tell you what though, for LTC versus USDT, if we can get this 4-hour chart here, if we can get this thing to start moving above the 200 moving average, these indicators are looking right. Definitely, I would watch LTC versus USDT. I think this guy could maybe make a move up. We'll see what happens. Never know. It might even, if it keeps going, challenge this previous channel that it had going on. It kind of fell from grace. It fell out of that, but watch it. Sometimes alts will get back in that channel. They'll kind of find their way. They'll be like, I'm going to get it back in there. Then when they do, they test it and they really can start moving. So I would just keep an eye on LTC versus USDT. Chart's been kind of crazy and sideways recently, kind of a bit weak, but definitely maybe LTC versus USDT is one to watch. XRP versus USDT. How's that one looking? Yeah, it's jacked. Nothing there. So Clay versus USDT. This is one of the ones that seems to always make some green when the market is red. So Clay versus USDT, 4-hour chart, massive run, came back. It's above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Squeeze indicators looking good. Directional index is looking good. Volumes coming in. I like what I'm seeing. It's a bit sideways. How's this? It's a bit kind of. Let's go to here. Do a fib sequence here. Maybe it's making a .5 bounce. We'll see what this one's doing. I'm just not really feeling. I don't have a big confident feeling in the market this morning, but definitely one to watch. Clay versus USDT. I mean, it made some moves. It's made a few percent today. So let's see what happens. Indicators are looking good. I'm not really hip on anything this morning. I'm a little bit hesitant. So I'm kind of holding the trades close to my chest, but really, definitely this one makes green when the market tends to be red. Clay, another one is SNX USDT, tends to make green when the market is red, and as you can see, it's been riding this 200 pretty hard in the 4-hour chart. Made a move up, looking good. Squeeze is looking good. Directional next is looking good. Nice volume. Wow, I might look at a slightly tighter time frame here. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's a 45-minute chart right here. So get me a parallel channel going here. I think you can see the beginning of something beautiful happening here. I have a feeling that we very well might visit the bottom of this channel before we continue moving up. So I'm kind of looking at something probably like this, come down, and I'm sorry, but that's the wrong indicator. Kind of thinking you might see something like this, come down to this channel and then move back up. I'm watching. It looks like we're, as you can see, kind of looks like we're, in a retrace territory right now, like the directional index, and ultimately like the squeeze indicators kind of trending down. You can even see like the volume ultimately is kind of trending down. So I'm gonna watch this one for a bounce, but if it got that bounce though, something to think about on this one here is if you get a bounce there, I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm just gonna use the forecast tool. If it bounced here and moved up, the channel is 5%, the heart rate of the channel, and then of course the top of the channel is like 11%. So I mean, this one here is just built for a bottom of the channel bounce and a 5% trailing take profit with a 3% variance. This thing will probably make it all the way back to the top. As the next versus USDT, I like what I'm seeing there. Another one is Immutable X, I think it's called, IMX versus USDT. It's on Binance and KuCoin. We'll look at it on and Coinbase. I like that. So Coinbase versus US. This one's insane. Oh my god. Immutable X. This one here is just pissing me off because when the market is red, if you'd gone all in Immutable X, you'd be making some dough. So anyway, powerful break above the 203.14 moving average on the 27th of February. It's been moving up. Strong indicator, strong directional index, strong squeeze. I'm sorry, strong directional index, strong ADX, strong squeeze, big mega volume. This thing might continue. Really, there's the 45-minute chart. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, look at that. Beautiful bounce off the 200 moving average, cruising up. Indicators are only just getting started for this one here. Big volume coming in. Look at that. Oh, still pushing it hardcore. On the 4-hour chart, let's look at the Keltner bands and see. We're right here in the top of the Keltner bands. It would not surprise me if we get a little bit of resistance here. As you can see, you never stay in them or above them very long. So I think we're getting ready to come down for probably a better buy. Maybe even a visit to the 200 moving average again. That definitely could happen. So anyway, I'm going to watch this one. I don't think it's quite ready yet, but definitely I'm going to keep an eye on the on this guy. I think this one is kind of exciting. So I'm going to just it's tough to know what this one's going to do. This one might make a nice, this one might, if we look at the Keltners one more time, you can see how it tends to burst above for a while. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's getting ready to do that again before it comes down. So, trade at your own risk. But gosh, IMX, Immutable X versus USDT, it's moving up hard. 4-hour indicators are only just getting started. Looking at the 45-minute chart, yeah, if you look at the Keltners, it's way in there. But I mean, it definitely, as you can see, sometimes breaks way above those for a while. And looking at the energons that it's got, would not surprise me if it does it again. Trade at your own risk, everybody. It's a it's a crazy universe right now. But I'm just going to watch this one. I think it's going to retrace a little bit before it continues moving, and it most likely will. So I'm just going to watch this one. The trade's going to have to come to me. Gonna make them work for it. And the last one is AGIX USDT, Singularity.net. You can play it on KuCoin and Binance. We'll look on Binance here where the volume is for the most smooth chart. Oh my heavens, it cranked came down, cranked again, it's cranking up again. Indicators, big volume. Oh my gosh. Directional index is looking good. ADX is looking good. Squeeze indicators actually kind of trending back up now. Golly, this thing is insane. What did it do? I'm wondering if it didn't, if we fib this thing out here. Did this thing like basically bounce up a perfect fib level? It did. The .382, perfect bounce. It's all about, is it going to continue? I'll give it a qualified maybe. I try to catch trades that are getting ready to pump off the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart and 4-hour and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to grab these things in the middle of, but really this is a pretty grooving chart. And like I say, so just keep that in mind. It's Clay, SNX, IMX, and AGIX all seem to, on red days recently, they're moving and they seem to continue making gains recently. So keep an eye on these. I'm really not ready to get in any of them yet, but I'm going to keep them all up and I'm going to be watching them today. So I think that really there's money in these. There's money in these, by God, I can just feel it. You know, X tag definitely might be making a bounce right now. We'll see. That one's kind of interesting. Bitcoin, 45-minute chart. It's working hard right now, trying to get above that 200 moving average. That would be wonderful. It does. The indicators would lend to it being able to do it. And with that said, everybody, the only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. Theodore Roosevelt said that, and he was definitely one of our American heroic badasses, president, big game hunter, naturalist, all that stuff. And it's true. So I'm glad you're here, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. I'm glad you're trying to make money in this crazy market. And I will be here daily when I can get on. And I'm going to try to get on earlier, as I always do. And maybe I'll even start just like hopping on like 3 in the morning when I wake up. And maybe we can catch the beginning of some of these runs. Because right now, I think we're all sort of, let me know your thoughts. Are any of these, oh, look at that, another purple candle. I think IMX is going to keep going. Look at IMX on the 45. On the 4-hour, how's it looking? Oh, it's just insane. I'd almost would have expected IMX here to have found resistance there, but it didn't. So really, where's the next, like resistance for IMX? Really, it's here. Bonk. This thing may have some play in it. One more shot at those Keltners. Are they looking? Yeah, it's pushing the Keltners, but look, it does burst right above them sometimes. Things tend to do what they have done. So, my big badass play of the day might be just for insanity reasons, for insane reasons. This is like, don't try this at home. I'm gonna give you one of my nutcase plays. Okay, so you've been warned. All right. But what if I was to hop in right where it's at, put a stop right below that previous resistance, which it did break through, and just make it a tight stop. It's either going to do it or not. And if it actually moves to the previous resistance, if it starts getting close to that, you're looking at like 15%. So seriously, man, 10%, chilling, take profit of a few percent after that. Maybe this thing is going to get friggin' crazy, Anyway, guys, and also, what I see? You might see it. If you're a blockchain education person, you're seeing this. Okay, I'm just saying, you're seeing two things. All right, you're seeing two things. One is, you're seeing, is this a cup? Followed by the handle, or what might this be? Do you guys see it? If you see it, let me know. Is that a W for the win? Oh yeah. Anyway, guys, IMX versus USDT might be the Lambo play of the day. Not financial advice. Trade the way you trade, but this is what I'm seeing. I think I might just get in on this one. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. Thanks for being an optimist. Thanks for being a Bitcoin truth seeker. Keep stacking those sats and chilling, because every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, it gets a nasty globalist right in the stones. Take care.